good, YouTube? It's your boy Meh of Pig and Meh here. So today I went to locals and I somehow managed to go undefeated with the pile of cards you see in front of you today. Yep, I went undefeated with Utopia. So let's high five the sky and show you guys my current build that I decided to play. So I don't think I have to explain too much because I've made a few videos before of this, so just kind of get into it. For the Automat guys, I just maxed out on Zubaba, Gagaga Coat, Dododo Dwarf, Go Glove, and then Onomatopoeia. Pretty much, if you get these guys, you get going. I also am still maxing out on the ZS Ascended Sage, but I cut Arm Sage down to 1 because I didn't really see much use behind them when I'm only playing one of each Zexal weapon, just Tornado Bringer and Twin Saber. Twin Saber you never really want in your hand, and Tornado Bringer just kind of being good, but not 100% necessary for the end board. And yeah, it seemed to work pretty well for me. I wouldn't change anything about this. I know one Ascended Sage is kind of weird, but I think the Onomat guys kind of end up doing more work in all honesty. Alright. Next up, 3 Astral Utopia. Very important because it searches all the important cards. And I decided to put Astral Karibo back into the deck to test out. And I mean, he kind of did something, but not really. I'm still not sure how I feel about the card, but it can work in a pinch. And for hand traps, it's just 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. That's it. I just wanted one that's universally good because I cut the deck down to 40 cards, took out crossouts and all that stuff, and just decided to focus on building my board. Or just trying to OTK through a board. Right. Now into the spells. For the Onomat cards, I just ran Pickup, 3 Para, and Onomatopoeia. This is just a win more card, but it's a fun win more card, and an easy side out games 2 and 3. But the attack boost did help in one game. And of course, this is the most important card because it's a Rhoda for 2. And then this searches this. You could easily bump this up if you wanted, but I don't know. And for Zexal, I just ran 2 Construct and 1 Entrust. Just a Monster Reborn. It can kind of, I guess, recycle your cards, but I didn't really think too hard about it. You could run 3 of this instead if you choose to, but I don't know. The deck, you kind of have the ability to search a lot of stuff, especially with Astral. And then 1 Exceeds Change Tactics. This is another win more card. You legit don't need more than 1, but when you do get it off, it can help draw into the Ash Blossom. And then rank ups. This is where I've changed in other builds. I decided to throw in 1 rank up Magic Zexal Force to go along with the rank up Magic Utopic Force. I just kind of wanted another target in case I drew this. And this also has a graveyard effect where it lets you draw a card, which is nice. But I legitimately never used this card once today. And then the last kind of Utopia specific card that you play because you have to is, of course, 1 Double or Nothing. You hope you never draw this. That's all you can say. So that's all the kind of theme-specific cards. Now, the other spells I decided to run, just one of those, because they're all limited, is Reborn, Upstart Goblin, Called by the Grave, and Reinforcement of the Army. This one is good because it searches Astraltopia, and also it's about the best bait card in your whole deck. Because you'd rather they bait this than the Onomatopoeia one, because, you know, you don't have to discard for it. But every important card in your deck's a warrior, so this card is absolutely fantastic. And the only other thing to make note is that a lot of your cards require or gain additional effects if your opponent has 2,000 more life points than you. and Upstart gets you halfway there. So yeah, 39 card deck is nice. And the last two cards I ran are the Shade Brigandine and the Numbers Protection. Yeah, they're both strong cards. You don't really need to run this, but I choose to just because it's an extender. But if you wanted to drop a card, that's about one of the easiest ones to drop. All right, so now onto the extra deck. Of course, you're still running your 2 copies of Utopia because he's the best. C39 because the part in the show where he came in was really cool. Double because he's probably the most important card in regards to building your board. Lightning because he still gets over Avermax. Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. This card is insane because it sets up, it's part of your end board for your negates and stuff. Although if you ever called by this card, you can negate this card, which is really awkward when that happens. And the last Utopia is number 99. This card is absolutely stupid because Konami, for some reason, decided to make it a quick effect. And of course, for Utopic, you run obviously the Draco package. And then I run 1 Utopic Sage. This card is also really good because it could save your Utopia guys from destruction. And then for the rank up card that I was playing, I decided to go with this Zexal weapon. And I legit never even looked at it once today. So yeah, there's that. And your last kind of generic Exceed monsters. 1 Prime Mathmatech Alimbertian? Or Alimbertian? Or something? I don't know. This is the one that can search Astraltopia when you detach 3 materials from it. Trust me, you will get that off. And usually use him and this to make this package. That's why I didn't play the Gagaga guy. Like, this card is legit really, really good. I don't know why I don't see more Utopia deck profiles playing it. 1 Tornado Dragon. It's usually what I prefer to end my board on rather than Dweller. Because, as a quick effect, it can stop Mystic Mine. The 1 of copy of Hope Harbinger. That's pretty much the target I shotgun out with this guy after this guy. But there's part of me that kind of wants to drop this in favor of using the, whatchamacallit, Heart Earth, if I can get a copy, but I don't know for sure. And the last monster, of course, they're all Exceeds, you run the 1 Zeus, because of course you do. Yeah, pretty solid extra deck. There's really only 1 flex spot in the whole thing, and that would be this ZW guy. But beyond that, I think everything else you kind of have to run. Also, I will say, shout out to, I think it's Team COG. That's where I learned about this guy. Pretty cool stuff. Now, my absolutely worthless side deck that I didn't use most of it. Did not use this ZW Lightning Blade, but in theory, it's really good. There was no Sword Soul players, so I didn't have to side in the token collectors, but he's a level 4, so that's why. And the cards I actually did side in, 3 Drone Lockbird that I kind of didn't ever resolve. The 1 of Harpy's Feather Duster. The 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. 1 Red Reboot. And 3 Evenly Matched. Basically, I just wanted board breakers and a card that universally stops stuff. That's it. You could easily main deck this back row hate if there's a lot of like Eldlik players and stuff in your area, but I didn't really decide to do that, and I was not punished in the slightest. Because I just kind of played against some pretty random stuff today, but it was still stuff that was fairly viable where I had to kind of put in some of this stuff games 2 and 3. So yeah, let's kind of wrap this up and get to the end of this video. So there you have it, folks. My Undefeated Utopia deck profile. This deck is super fun, and I think everyone should give it a try. That's pretty much all I have to say. If you like what you see, make sure to comment down below. If there are any things that you would change with this deck, make sure to let me know. I'm always free to hear. what crazy wacky stuff other people want to do. And yeah, this is Meh, Pig and Meh, signing out.